You were waving. All right, everyone wave. And 3, 2, 1. Wave harder. Hello, everybody. You know me. Okay, no, you don't, but you know who I am. That is, I'm Issa J, and alongside me, as always,
is your small Crescent Alliance World Heavyweight Champion of Picking Things, Liam Landry.
And you can't make fun of me for getting my title because you forgot yours.
I didn't know we were doing it here.
That is true.
I got here. And then on the way here, I was like, oh, we're doing it there? And I was like, oh, okay. We're not going back to my house to pick it up.
Oh, well, yeah.
Alongside me is former champion.
DJ.
Yes, alongside him.
T-Swizzle.
Yeah, you remember T-Swizzle.
She kept it.
Yes, why wouldn't she?
All right, so yeah,
Let's just hope you don't get sued by Taylor.
So we have a really good show for you tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Welcome back to Shooting with the Smarky Family. It's episode 47, and before we get started, every single week, I like to do this before the proper show starts. Liam, how was your week, good sir?
It was fine, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how about yours?
About the same, just busy. Anything new got to watch or see anything new?
No, nothing new.
What about you, good sir?
Not too bad. Had to hang out with this crazy person all weekend. I don't know why I did, but okay. Other than that,
one might say y'all are in a relationship.
I wasn't gonna fully announce that to the whole wide world.
You did last week.
And I've been talking about her for weeks. So. Oh, I did?
Everyone knows.
I don't remember. Well, no, but I did get sunburned real bad. Yesterday, because I forgot to put sunscreen on. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Never do that again.
It happens.
Where?
How about you, mademoiselle?
How about...
My week was good. Busy.
Oh, okay.
Just working and teaching kids.
Teaching kids? Do they listen?
Well, those kids need to be taught.
You showed me where you got sunburned.
Yeah, that was. You should know he was gonna try to touch it.
Yeah.
Since I already slapped you home thinking that I was sunburned.
Thanks.
It was.
It was. Not as much anymore, but...
But-
Oh!
Yeah,
I didn't realize that the first time I slapped it.
Wow.
It's weird.
it's probably because it's on
Because I
camera.
am
He's trying to
weird.
ham it up for the camera.
I slapped it on camera before too. Anyways.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. Now that we know how we've been this past week, let's get right into the show proper. It's time for news outside of the WWE.
Uh-huh.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's where we talk about the news in wrestling that is not WWE related. So we're gonna go and first talk about let's talk about AEW because they had a very successful show this past week, All Out, and apparently that's going to be their WrestleMania. That was announced
Oh, really? Cool.
in Chicago every September. They're gonna do All
Every
Out,
September?
which is cool.
Okay.
But something else happened. The first AEW World Champion was not only announced, but he was crowned. Thank you for the right word. You are my tag team partner for life.
Oh, DJ said it first.
Well,
Oh,
good
thank you.
job, DJ.
Yeah, woohoo!
I didn't even. Oh wow, SmackDown coming to Fox.
I'll go in front of these too.
True, very true. Good job, DJ.
Yeah.
High five.
Thank you.
But yeah, he was crowned,
really.
and it was Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So Chris Jericho, he goes back to I think Florida.
Yeah.
He goes into his limo. He has his championship with him. He goes to
A
a
little bit of the bubbly.
little bit of the bubbly,
Probably.
and he goes to
Okay.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah, it's Longhorn.
Was it Longhorn or was it the
It doesn't matter.
It's Longhorn.
Longhorn?
Longhorn.
Went to Longhorn Steakhouse.
Didn't win the title.
Found out though on the way there that he accidentally got the wrong luggage. So the limo driver, goes all the way back to give the luggage back to the people. On the way back don't know how it happened, but in between all this time, the AEW World Championship title belt was stolen. Luckily, though, a couple days after or a day after, it was found on the side of the road and someone brought it back, so it's not stolen anymore. But let's just talk about this. How irresponsible could you be and trusting that it was going to be that safe?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's what always happens. I mean, champions carry around their belts and the luggage.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always luggage mix-ups that could happen. So it's I think that happens. I mean, they actually had two initially, so they already had a backup one. So
Yeah.
if they never found this one, they probably had it because you have to assume that stuff like that will happen. It'll be lost and stolen.
What did you guys think of it when you heard about the story?
It wasn't. I don't know. I was kind of. I wasn't surprised because he probably put it in his luggage. I don't know. It's kind of odd. I think it's gonna. They didn't say who stole it, huh?
I think they're still looking for that information.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out as an AEW guy did it, and they come out and say it was all storyline based.
They may turn into work, but this has actually involved the Tallahassee.
Well, I did see all that, but I didn't know if they were just doing that to not make it a story. Okay, so it is real, but
No, I mean, if they did that, then they'll be under arrest for filing a false police report.
oh, okay. So,
That's
but
what
yeah,
we-
but it's
Once you get the real police in it, it's
okay. Yeah, but it was. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of. I don't know. I think Jericho should be fine.
I don't think it was his fault though.
yeah, I mean,
But it's his fault for getting his own luggage. I mean, he hires people to get the luggage. If it's ultimately his responsibility to keep track of the title. If it was me, I wouldn't have kept it off of me at all. Or at least would have kept it on my carry-on bag or whatever. But just a weird story, and I didn't just expect that to happen. You don't hear about that in WWE. It's not a
At
good
least
look
not
for
recently, because it's very rare for them to actually carry around their championship.
Right. It's not very
I
good.
mean, to be fair, they mostly drive around. So I mean, it
Mhm.
depends on how many times you go on planes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone's lost luggage on a plane.
Right.
And when you have that happen and someone else gets your luggage, it's not very unlikely for them to steal
Right.
something from it.
It-
Especially that's valuable.
It's not a great look for AEW, but like we said, they'll turn it into a work and make it better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really much you can do in that situation. Stolen luggage, stolen luggage.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to add?
No, I think it was stupid on his part to even put it in his luggage.
Right.
And well, I mean,
Well, did he want the publicity? Oh, everybody knows him from Fozzy, so can't say he didn't want the publicity, but
I'm trying to think of the tag team, but there was a tag team that
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty famous one, champions. They said that they hate winning championships because they hate having to travel with the championship belt
Mm-hmm.
because it takes up so much room in your luggage.
Mm-hmm.
So they,
it is really that
It-
big.
oh yeah,
The
they're
titles?
big ones. Yeah, that's just old. Those are like guys from the 80s.
Yeah, old school
But
title
still-
belts are massive.
But I mean, I see the titles nowadays. Even on Braun Strowman, his tag team belt is huge,
Mm-hmm.
and Braun Strowman's a big guy. You know, he's not. I mean, Daniel Bryan, I read his book. He said he had 2 titles reigning, but he said those are heavy and those are big. They're big titles.
Mm-hmm.
He says they're not easy to. So I can kind of agree on that. But yeah, it was weird.
Yay! Falcons made a touchdown.
Okay.
Okay, I can at least know they're not going to get shut out.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that was so. Let's keep it in the world.
Yeah, but let's see if he keeps that title
Mm-hmm.
when he goes up against Cody Rhodes at full year. Because that match has been announced.
When's
for
that?
That
the
has been
championship.
announced. I think it's the only announced match thus far. For,
Yes, only one announced so far for full gear. Which is, let me pull that up real quick.
I know it's in November.
Is this the last pay per view before?
It's November 9th.
November
At the
9th.
November
Royal
what?
9th.
Okay, sorry.
At the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a crazy. But the guy who sees this really big, massive belt, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, you should realize, I should not steal this because they are going to be looking for this. They will know this is missing if it's not in this man's luggage. So that was really stupid on the person who stole the belt's part. Anyway, let's keep the news right inside of not WWE, AEW.
Right.
Some else after the show All Out, they had a press conference and some big news happened. Kaylee Ray has not only asked for her release, but was granted her release. We don't know why this has happened, whether it's injury based or
She was hurt.
else. But no, the other lady was hurt. This is someone different. Because they're
Kaylee
keeping
Ray
this
or
very
something?
close to the chest.
Kaylee Ray?
Kaylee Ray, yes.
I thought.
It
I
was
just
on
want to
Kylie
make
Ray.
sure. Keep talking.
Really, right.
Kylie Ray?
Yeah.
Kylie Ray. Kylie Ray, she's out of the AEW. She, again, asked for her release, and then it was granted. Tony Khan, that's his name. They're both in AEW. But Tony Khan has, he was the one who broke this news.
Excuse
So-
me. Wait. Is her last name Harris?
I have no idea. I only know her as Kylie Ray.
Is that her?
It's just some big random ad.
I got some bad news to report if this is her.
No.
That's not her?
That is not Kylie Ray.
Okay. Never mind.
But yeah, so we hope the best for Kylie
No,
Ray in
okay,
the
yeah,
future.
no, it's not.
Your thoughts on what this could be?
According to Ringside News, she retires from all wrestling.
Yeah, I think Ringside News made that assumption, but no
She
one's,
deleted her Twitter account.
no one's actually talked to her about it, so
Oh, so we don't know.
no, it's just an assumption from Ringside.
Kylie Ray reportedly retired from pro wrestling. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
reportedly means
Reportedly means that we made it up to put it in this article.
Okay.
That's journalism speak.
that's journalism speak. So hey, we don't actually have the facts, and we aren't actually allowed to say things without the facts. So we're gonna say it like this, so that way we don't get
We're gonna put allegedly behind every other word. Too.
yes, allegedly.
So that, allegedly. We're gonna put allegedly behind every other word. Allegedly.
So that way we don't get sued.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah, it sucks that she's not there because she was a lot of fun in Double or Nothing earlier this year. So we only hope the best for her, and can't wait to see what happens for her in the future. Any last points on the whole matter?
Not really. I haven't seen her wrestle too much, so I don't know too much about her.
Okay, well, let's move on to Stardom. Stardom is a Japanese Joshi women's wrestling company. And right now they are having their 5-star Grand Prix. And as of 13 hours ago, they updated the tournament points system. Now, if you are familiar with the G1 Climax in New Japan Pro Wrestling, it has the very same format. It's a round-robin tournament. The winners of each of 2 blocks then face each other to be the champion, or not the champion, but the winner of said tournament. 2 points for a victory, 1 point for a draw, or time limit draw, no points for a loss or disqualification or double count out or what have you. So we're going to go both, we're just going to update each brackets. There's a blue side and a red side. The blue side, we have, let me do it this way because it's going to be a lot easier on my eyes. So, we have a lot of people with 6 points in the blue side. We have B. Priestley at 6 points, Arisa Hoshiki at 6 points, Kagetsu at 6 points, Jungle Kiona at 6 points, Konami at 6 points, Utami Hayashishida. Yeah, Utami Hayashishida and Andras Miyagi and Jamie Hader, all at 6 points, which means every single person on the blue bracket has 6 points, except for one person who's lost all of her matches except for one. At 2 points, it's Natsuko Tora. That seems like anybody can win in this section, completely different than what we see in New Japan, where at this point there's a clear winner about to emerge. So that's interesting. Your thoughts on the blue brackets?
Not too much thoughts. It could be Jungle's year.
Jungle Kiona?
Yeah, a very young female wrestler that is impressing a lot of people. So it could be a good year for her to make the leap, get the championship,
And then
get the title. Well,
the tournament win.
Tournament win.
Yeah, and then on the red side, we have with 6 points. Still a lot of people with 6 points, but not nearly as much. We have Mayu Iwatani, who has been with Stardom for such a long time. She is the spearhead of the company. Even though she's not the champion right now, she is still the most recognized.
Ace.
Yeah, the ace. There you go. Hazuki at 6 points. Momo Watanabe at 6 points. Hana Kimura at 6 points. And I've actually seen one of her matches. She is very fun. And she's also the leader of one of the, not factions. Oh, factions. She's leader of one of the factions down in Stardom. But she's really cool. So keep an eye out for Hana Kimura. Tom Nakano and AZM. Another one who people just absolutely love. They're all at 6 points. The one woman at 4 points is Saki Kashima. And then the two at 2 points is Natsumire and Avery. Avery being, what do you call people outside of Japan again?
Gaijin.
She's a
Gaijin. Like a
Gaijin.
Yeah.
My bad. She's a Gaijin coming in. Unlike all the others, she's not doing very good in this tournament.
Gaijin may just be foreign monsters or something.
Probably. But yeah, looks like a really good tournament thus far. Any thoughts on the tournament? Who you think's going to win in the next 4 or 5 weeks or
Well, I already
days?
said about Jungle.
Jungle.
I don't know as much about the other side. I know Mayu, but she won last year, so I don't think it's going to repeat. So I'd still say maybe Jungle for just a up and comer.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people has talked about her being a very incredible talent for her age. Maybe like 19, 20.
Oh, wow.
Like that. Yeah.
And it's funny that Riho is not in the tournament because she still does stuff with Stardom.
Oh, she does?
Yes.
Okay.
Any things to add down below?
Probably would have came in conflict with All Out.
Probably, yeah.
So
I don't have
I mean, well, B was able to participate, but it's probably more than just All Out for Rio because you can definitely see them really pushing her.
I don't have anything.
Yeah. So when we get access to the actual wrestling of Stardom, we have a feeling that Taylor here is going to be a big fan because she really likes women's wrestling. So just wait till you see what the Japanese ladies get up to. It's crazy.
Okay.
And the last news outside of the WWE, we have a brand new never openweight champion. His name is Kenta, formerly
Hideo Itami.
Thank you. Formerly Hideo Itami. And
Can I stop you? Should we push this mic back? Because every time you talk, it goes all the way up in yellow. I don't know.
No, the yellow is fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the yellow is fine.
Sometimes it goes in red though.
It's gonna.
Just want to make sure it's just not too loud.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. But yeah, Kenta, formerly Hideo Itami,
Yes.
is the new never openweight champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling. However, the match he was in to win it was very controversial because it appeared that he suffered a concussion during the match against Tomohiro Ishii. So he's fine now, but that was really scary. Your thoughts on concussions
Yeah, they're
and
also saying that the
stuff?
people that they may have should have cut the match earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how visible it would have been for the people in there as much as it would be difficult to tell. Though, yeah, I guess it's something to look at, for health of the wrestlers.
There's gotta be. In football, it's very easy because you see them getting up and they're swaying or a big hit. They stay down for a couple seconds, the ref pushes them off the side. In a match, it's a lot harder just because it is fake. And they are playing storylines and, they move around slow for story reasons. So you don't know if it's story-based or if it's really real that they're hurt. And the wrestler's not going to say, I want to come out. Just like a football player's not going to say, I want to leave this play, because he's getting paid, it's... If there is a way you can maybe have a couple of medical guys on the end of the rings or something, to help out with concussions and stuff like that, maybe you might be able to see it, but I don't know.
Are you that shocked what DJ said?
No, throw the stinking flag. The dude did not allow the guy to attempt to catch the ball
Well, they can challenge
in the
it.
punt.
They can challenge it, so. Oh, no, you can't. Yeah, they called it.
There you go.
They called it. No,
Good.
but the thing, it's just, I don't know what you do. Daniel Bryan had the issues with concussions that we know about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the only thing you really can do is what they do with Daniel Bryan. After which I think every wrestler should get. I hate to say this, it might be a lot of work, but a full-on scan of the body.
Or maybe
And
not a
see-
scan, at least do
like a test
a
of-
combat,
Whatever you call it before you go back
not
to school.
combat,
What do they call those?
Isn't it CT test or something like that?
something like that.
Yeah.
Well, not that, just... Huh?
'Cause, after every match, he has to go backstage and answer certain questions, like who's the president right now? How old are you?
Competency
What's this?
test.
Competency test.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
So I think they should at least do that, and if something seems off, then make
We'll
him go
do
do
that,
the
do
proper.
the eye test, see if he's seeing straight, stuff like that.
Mhm.
I agree with you on that. I mean, every wrestler should do that, though.
Yeah.
Not just him, but, so you're going to keep seeing this until they change something. And I think it's worse. It's going to be worse in, like,
Mhm.
AEW and outside of WWE just because they do a little bit rougher than WWE does, from what I've seen. So,
Yeah, they definitely hit harder.
yeah.
Alright, I don't think there's anything else outside of the WWE, so we're gonna go into our next segment of the show, and it is, I need to turn that down. And
News
there's,
inside the WWE.
thank you, good sir.
Yes.
And it's basically exactly as it sounds. It's when we're talking about the news, WWE related. Alright, news number 1, Katie Catanzaro?
Katie Catanzaro.
Katie Catanzaro
Yeah.
has requested release from NXT and the WWE.
Was
We
it
don't know if it has been granted yet, but it is injury
I'm
related.
pretty sure it's already been granted.
It's already been granted?
Yeah, because it's injury
Okay.
related. Her doctor said if she keeps wrestling, it'll go to a permanent injury. So she just literally can't. She can't get medically cleared to go out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much like in the same situation that someone like Edge was in.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the same injury, but in
Yeah.
the same way where the doctor said if he keeps wrestling, it'll be
Mhm.
much worse.
Yeah, or
So-
Paige right now.
Oh, Paige. Yes.
Yeah, Paige can't do anything. That's
But
a shame.
yeah, it's a shame. She definitely had a lot of talent, and she looked like she was going to be able to have a very bright future. Possibly even become Velveteen Dream in the sense of someone built up by WWE in wrestling, because she wasn't wrestling outside of this, or she wasn't in wrestling outside of NXT. So WWE building her up to possibly be like a really big star. Unfortunately, injuries said otherwise.
Yeah, no, she just has to go to be a professional American Ninja Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else about this story?
No.
All
Just
right.
another reason I think WWE should watch their wrestlers. Because if they, so.
I mean, to be fair, it must have been watched if they caught it.
Well, yeah, I'm glad they did this time, but
I mean, it would be.
I wish they would catch it more
It would
often.
be a thing. Well, it'd be a problem with them catching it
Mm-hmm.
if she came out completely paralyzed or something. But I mean, this is them catching it. This is the most they can do with it.
Right.
It shows that they clearly catch these things.
And it shows that WWE cares because they did grant her release.
Yeah, I mean,
They had no
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're putting her into a different
Right.
situation,
Like making her a manager or something.
and that could theoretically happen, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
Would you like Paige? I mean, I'd rather see her manager than
she'd be valet for Ricochet.
ballet for Ricochet. Yeah, I'd like that. That'd be cool.
Oh, it's Ricochet's girlfriend. I don't know. If you
Oh,
know
it
that.
is?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, that makes it more obvious now.
Yeah.
All right, next news.
We have the
Clash of Champions? Or you want to do that last?
that's last.
Okay.
We have the updated King of the Ring.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We didn't do last week because we didn't have the show last week. However, so I'm just going to do a quick rundown of round 1. We had Cesaro lose to Samoa Joe, Ricochet defeating Drew McIntyre, The Miz losing to Baron Corbin, and Cedric Alexander defeating Sami Zayn.
And before you, is that the red side?
That's the Raw
Can
side.
we talk about that real quick?
Which one?
I wanted to mention the Miz. I was actually surprised that the Miz lost. I thought that the Miz would at least move on to round 2.
I wasn't because WWE's
They're
really
pushing Baron
big
Corbin?
on Baron Corbin right now.
They are okay.
I mean, he had like a 3-month feud with Seth Rollins for the Universal
Yeah,
Championship.
he did. That was a good feud too. So, I can see that now. Okay.
And then on SmackDown side, round 1, Chad Gable defeating Shelton Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
We had Andrade Cien Almas defeating Apollo Crews. Elias in a stupid match defeating Kevin Owens. And Ali defeating Buddy Murphy. Mustafa Ali defeating Buddy Murphy. So those are your quarterfinals right there. And Raw side gets a bit janky. Baron Corbin defeated Cedric Alexander in what people say is Baron Corbin's best match to date in the quarters. So he's in the semifinals now.
Right.
And in a double pin, Samoa Joe and Ricochet both simultaneously won and lost, which is stupid. So it's going to be a triple threat for the semifinals for
This week?
Samoa Joe, Ricochet, and the Baron Corbin.
And that happens tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have that to look forward to here.
Yes.
I am not a fan of that. I think they should have just had either Ricochet or Samoa Joe lose.
Gave it the old dusty finish.
They did. However, on the other side, it was way more cut and dry. Elias defeating Mustafa Ali, with people saying this was probably Elias's best match ever.
Wow.
And surprisingly, Chad Gable defeating Andrade Cien Almas.
What?
I did not see this one coming at all.
Wow.
So it's in the semifinals. It is Chad Gable versus Elias.
Yippee.
That one I'm really excited for, that match, because I think it's going to be a hidden gem.
You think Gable wins?
Depends on what happens on Raw. If either Samoa Joe or Baron Corbin wins, I think easy pick, Chad Gable is going in. If Ricochet wins, Elias is going in.
Okay.
I think Elias.
I think the Miz.
I think one of the two
is
heels
Kevin
are
Owens
winning,
still
though.
in a feud with Elias and Shane?
Just Shane, not so much Elias.
Yeah, but he could mess up that.
He could. Well, we'll see.
I could see that happening on Tuesday.
We'll see.
That'd be cool.
He didn't show up this Tuesday because his family
Right, I
is
heard about that.
living near. Starts with a D. Dorian? Is it Hurricane Dorian?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the hurricane.
So he stayed with family.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, yeah, it makes all the sense.
Yeah.
If you have a huge hurricane about to hit your family,
Yeah.
you go and you be with your family.
Yeah.
Or you help them get out or whatever. You don't mess around with hurricanes.
No.
Us down here in New Orleans understands that
Yeah.
all too well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Any you want to do predictions?
the winner of tomorrow and Tuesday will go to Clash of Champions.
Oh, they'll fight it. Okay, cool.
Yes.
That'd be
So let's, and that was like the perfect segue we
Yeah.
can do. Let's talk about the next news piece. Let's update the card for Clash of Champions as it stands right now.
All right, this is off of WWE.com's website. They don't have what matches are pre-show matches, but we could probably guess. We're gonna go off of the first match that they have is Universal Seth versus Braun Strowman.
Pre-show.
Becky, we'll talk about whatever match we're gonna talk about when I'm done going through the card. The Raw Women's Champion Becky versus Becky Lynch, your favorite so far, versus Right? Becky Lynch, T Swizzle's favorite versus Sasha Banks. We have
Should be a good match.
That should be. We have another. They know each other very well from NXT, so and from the main roster, but it'll be a very good match. Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton
For the WWE?
for the WWE Championship.
This has been a really good storyline.
This has been. I've seen bits and pieces from highlights. We'll dive more into that. Reigns versus Eric Rowan. Finally figured out who his.
This one should be on the pre-show.
Yeah, it should be, but we know it's not. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. Could be a good match. They both know each other from NXT. Always like to see that.
And they both know each other for when Bayley defeated Charlotte before WrestleMania.
Yep, I remember that.
I think it was Elimination Chamber or something. She ended up beating her, giving her Charlotte's first pay-per-view loss out of nowhere when WrestleMania was the next month.
Yeah.
When they could have done something way more spectacular, but whatever.
The Raw Tag Team Champions Seth and Braun versus Dolph Ziggler and
Robert Roode.
Yeah, it's not Bobby Roode.
They're calling them Rudolph.
Oh God. Okay.
Because Rude and Dolph, Rudolph.
Oh.
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Rudolph.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Yeah. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E and Xavier Woods versus The Revival.
That's going to be a hidden gem.
It could be a good match. Intercontinental Champion Nakamura versus The Miz. I think that match is going to be really good. You got Drew Gulak, your Cruiserweight Champion, versus Humberto
Carrillo
versus
Lindsay Dorado.
Okay, thank you. And we got one more, which
that's going to be an awesome triple threat match, I think.
And
it's going to be match of the night.
This match got confirmed either.
This match on the pre-show.
Exactly.
Right, and then they just confirmed another match a few hours ago is the Tag Team Women's Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, another
Fire and
favorite.
Desire.
Nikki Cross, your favorite.
Yeah,
so
after Fire and Desire
as
and the Tag Team Champs in the match.
As the card stands right now, whoever wants to go first, I'll go last. Pick your best match of the night. That's what you think.
I'll go with the Cruiserweight triple threat.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Oh, nuts.
I had to go before you said.
You can say the same thing.
The one I'm gonna pick. Oh, and of course, like we mentioned already, the King of the Ring finals match: to be determined versus to be determined.
Right. Okay, I forgot about that.
TBD.
TBD. I think it's gonna be Baron. No, I think it's gonna be Ricochet versus Elias. What do you think? Baron Corbin versus Chad?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think?
I'll take the. Yeah, they're gonna put Elias in there. I don't like that, but Elias versus.
I'm a huge Elias fan. I'll be so happy if I actually give him something because he's been sorely underutilized.
Yeah, he has been. But no, what's your match tonight?
If I can't pick his, then I'm picking New Day versus the Revival.
All right, and who you got?
What are we doing?
Your best match for?
Oh my gosh, they're at 11
Out of the ones
matches
I just
already.
said.
Another week.
That one or no? Or the Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks one? Okay.
That one has a
That's
potential
yours,
to be
and
hidden too.
yes.
Yeah, it just seems to come out of nowhere.
You know, I'm gonna pick two because this is gonna be interesting. Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins have two matches, which I think the tag team champion is gonna happen first.
Oh, and
What?
before we say, there probably will be a 12th match announced tomorrow, and it's either gonna be
Okay.
AJ Styles with United States champion versus Cedric Alexander, or AJ Styles, United States champion, versus Braun Strowman. It's gonna be one of the two.
What? You can't be in three matches, could you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's going to be very interesting because Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins are in two matches, obviously. They're tag team champions, the Rollins. So whichever one happens first, I'm actually excited to look forward to both of them, actually. I'm going to pick two here because if they don't have the Raw tag team titles yet, if that's second, that'll be interesting just because if Braun Strowman loses, I don't think he's going to fight well with Seth Rollins. It's going to be interesting to see. And if they have it even before,
I think the tag match is going to happen before their in order to keep with the storyline.
And it's going to be
Whether or not they retain their tag team championships
I don't know if I see
is
that.
superfluous. It's going to be the story in that match is going to be the tension there.
Can they
And
work
can they
together
work
because they
together
have that
because of the
title
match happened. The big
Right.
title is on the line later that
And
night.
that's what I'm looking
That's
for.
what it's going to
Yeah,
be.
it's going to be a great card. It looks like a great card overall.
It reminds me of a time when I was playing SmackDown vs. Raw, and
Mhm.
my creative character was in a tag team with Stone Cold in the Universe
Mhm.
mode, and we were champs. But during one of our championship matches, he had turned on me and hit me with the Stone Cold Stunner.
Really?
Yeah. But then I still came back and won it, so we were feuding together, but we were still champions. Made things really awkward.
That's funny.
That is pretty funny. So that's your card for Clash of Champions so far.
Yeah, that Universe Mojo is always funny.
Mhm.
All the sports things, yes, I want to complete. I
No,
want to
next
complete
next
playing
one.
NCAA football.
No,
It's
every
like,
pay-per-view on
you're in the
this.
championship against Georgia
I'm just
Tech
updating the card.
in
Actually,
football. I remember one time.
T
I was-
Swizzle.
I remember one time I got to the
What's going to be your
elimination chamber.
favorite match? What I think. What is your
Oh,
most
she did
anticipated?
say it already. She
I just
kind
said
of.
it quietly. The one I think that's going to be the best is Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, just because they're the ones that stick in my mind the most.
Yeah,
Alright.
she's a big fan.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
And
And you do like Nikki Cross
the
too.
elimination
Yeah.
chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I go
Big
in
fan
there,
of Nikki
and
Cross.
Kevin Bourne was in there. So I was like, man, I gotta get him now. So he's got one. So I made it to like we won. So I took over him. So we won. And it was so funny that when he like had the thing for the
I gotta
that
go
belt
see it open.
on him,
Mm-hmm.
it was completely off. Like he was going like halfway through his
It's
stomach.
not.
And it's like they didn't even program the belt to go on him.
That is funny. That's what that tells you a lot about what they think of Evan Bourne.
It was funny. So Evan Bourne was the World Heavyweight Champion.
That's awesome.
Yay.
Only in Impact was that actually the case. I don't remember his name. No, he wasn't the World Heavyweight. Which champion
No, it was
was he?
X-Division.
X Division. Okay.
Outside out.
Yes.
That's the real name.
Yeah. Well, that was the news outside the WWE. And as we wait for our fellow compadre DJ, we're just gonna jump in and start the next segment. It's
That was the least anticipated match.
my
That's from that. Mine's the women's tag team match. Just because of how they vote the women's tag team
Mhm.
champions.
mine
To be
is
2-on-1 to Bailey, and then already lose to Fire and Desire in a SmackDown match.
right.
Yeah, so.
I think it's my most anticipated match is to be quite honest with you, and it's really a shock. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston in 2019. They're my most anticipated because I actually like their match last pay per view SummerSlam. So I'll be interested to see how they up the ante on this one.
Okay, so we go on to our next segment.
Yes, we're moving on to the
Yes.
third segment of the show. It is the best segment of the week. It's not as I can't say this without being completely filthy. It's not us blowing ourselves. It's just what the title is called, or the segment is called. It's just what we thought was the best segment of wrestling this past week. And we're going to start it off. I'll start it off this week. I did not watch any wrestling. I took a week off. So my best segment of this week is the ladder match that happened between the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. Holy stinking crud. I'm pretty sure Matt Jackson is still dead somewhere. And Nick is injured.
He's on the dead on the side of the road next to the AEW title.
Yes, they had to pick up both of them. Yeah, it was a great match. A lot of carnage, a lot of fun, and they actually did have a lot of good storytelling. Where there are times where each brother could have helped out the other brother, but instead, because they were goading each other, they would do big moves against each other. The two teams were brutal. A sick Canadian destroyer through a table. I don't understand how Matt's still alive after this match. I'm surprised his neck is not broken in a million pieces. But I absolutely love this match. It was my match of the night that night, and my match of the week, really. And again, I'm the oddball out because everyone's thinking loved Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears, and I hated it. But yeah, my shout is to Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks in their ladder match. What is yours, Liam?
I'm gonna go with the three-way tag match at NXT UK. Takeover Cardiff. I think it was a good match overall, especially looking back at it. It had good. I think it had good storytelling elements with three teams taking advantage and coming out, and I think it was a real toss-up to who could win. I think anyone looked believable throughout the night and throughout the match. And it was just a lot of story elements. Kind of cramped in there, it felt like they put a lot in there. So that would kind of be more than what the length of match it was, but it didn't feel that way. So that's why I go for that one.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
Yeah.
Yours, DJ.
Mine. I guess I'll go with the at the ladder match. The triple threat tag match on AEW.
6-man.
Yeah.
On wait.
Who was that again?
Oh, the 6-man. Jungle Boy, Jurassic Experience versus SCU.
Yeah.
Express.
That was
Jurassic Express.
I know they had a lot of people in there, but it was a good match. It had a little bit of everything. It wasn't as good as the triple threat, but to me that was one of my favorite matches. AEW is, it's hard to pick because AEW is just so good. The Cody Rhodes match was a little bit of a letdown, like Issa said, but other than that, the whole card was great. I really can't pick a match. Sorry, WWE. It's going to be fun this week. Alright. T Swizzle, floor is yours.
Mine.
The young
one
Bucks.
with
The Young Bucks and the Lucha
the
Bros.
guy with his face half
The
painted.
Cracker Barrel Brawl triple threat with Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc.
You're picking. You told me a different one.
That one was a good
off.
Yeah, no, I see
Keep
that.
you on your toes.
That was a good one. That was the one that stuck in my mind the most during that show.
What are some favorite parts of that match for you?
Where they were putting the thumbtacks in the dude's mouth.
Yeah.
Taped to the chair. That was pretty harsh. But it was,
And then they take the other guy's mouth.
yeah.
You saw that? Yeah.
Or that
It was
very
interesting to
fun
watch.
skateboard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a brutal match to watch.
It was brutal, but it was rememberable.
And that's what people like in wrestling. Is a little bit of brutality. Never hurt anybody.
I'm pretty sure both, all three, Jimmy Havoc, Joey Janela, and Darby Allin were hurt.
Yeah.
So I think brutality does hurt somebody.
Alright, yeah. Alright. Next segment.
Alright, next segment. It's time for... Are you serious? This is our segment where we rant and sometimes praise something in wrestling. It's Are You Serious? Most of the time it's Are You Serious? But sometimes it's Are You Serious? See how the inflection can change the meaning of things? You go first.
Yeah, DJ, you go first. He said he was going to have a fun one. So.
Yeah, he's got... Yes.
Yeah,
you
my
do have
fun one is
one.
WWE sucks. I hate to say that, but they just... It surprised me because NXT is so good. It's awesome. Regular NXT, not the UK. I didn't care for the matches. They were a little slow. Yeah, I had a late night that Friday because I went to go see the Backstreet Boys. I'll admit it. Probably not supposed to, but I did. And it was a late night. But the thing was, that card to me was just a little slow. And every match that I've seen, I haven't seen all 3 pay-per-views, but the matches I have seen, AEW's pretty good. They're 100 times better than WWE. Are they letting them do more? Yes. I can't say they're not. But is it better storytelling? Yes. And maybe it'll get better. I read an article that WWE is changing their head writers for both Raw and SmackDown, so I'm hoping that can help a little bit. But WWE, y'all gotta get y'all act together. If you don't, y'all gonna go downhill faster than I thought. I gave y'all like 6 months to a year. I hate to say by less than that, but I think when October 2nd comes around, y'all gonna start going downhill. I'm sorry. Who's next?
You want to do your rant?
Sure, I'll go. It's a mixed bag, I guess. For one, I'm glad that they're getting more use out of Chad Gable, who I think is real good talent.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they giving him a nice push here.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be at the finals for Clash of Champions, lose to Baron Corbin, but he's going to be in there. But I like that fact, but I don't like the fact that they changed up his look. They cut his hair and took him out of the singlet, and he actually looks a lot more generic now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he kind of looks like a smaller EC3 in a way, because like they have similar,
I can see that, yeah.
they have similar hair and all. And so I think it hurts him in that way. He looks a lot more generic. He doesn't even have his little towel anymore, his little Gable towel. But at least it's something though that he's getting some matches in. So hopefully they give him an actual mid-card feud to work off of on this.
Yeah, him and Nakamura would be a really good feud for the IC title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, his new look does not look good.
It's a lot more generic than what it was.
Yeah.
And plus, you already have EC3, so why you need a smaller EC3?
So that way they can throw them into a tag team.
Oh no, it's gonna be like an Austin Powers reference.
Shorty JC3.
He's my mini-me.
Yeah, well, hey.
Yeah, doesn't it sound right? When Vince comes in and it's like,
I just
saw
movie.
this brand new movie. It was hilarious. It's called Austin Powers. It gave me some.
Oh no.
The guy, he didn't even see Scarface. They said
That's
when Scott Hall pitched his character, which was inspired by Scarface, they said that he never saw the movie and didn't know what the character was. He thought it was an original creation of Scott Hall.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he didn't see, one of the classic American gangster movies.
I wonder if he thought, when he saw Sting, if he thought that was just original thought.
I'm sure he's never seen Fro. I'm sure.
Who's next?
I'll go. My rant is about the again. It's going to be about the King of the Ring, because it's really frustrating that they decided you have a tournament structure, and they decided to take that structure, crumple it up, and throw it away, which makes it seem that more stupid and that more fake. If Vince really wants to try to appeal and present WWE more sports-like, you don't have dusty finishes in tournaments. You just give someone a win and you give someone a loss. That's it. I'm sorry if you don't like that fact, but that's how sports go. You don't have... You will always have a winner and a loser. And it's your fault for making wins and losses feel like they don't matter. It makes it even more so tomorrow for the triple threat. Like, it didn't matter if Ricochet or Samoa Joe won. They could have just both been like, hey, let's not wrestle each other. Let's just go straight to the semifinals. It's stupid. and it's unnecessary, and the whole way y'all did it with the referee coming up to him was like, just give us a second, we'll tell you the results later, and leaves. No, you'll have the results happen that minute, that moment. If a team challenges or if a referee has to go and look, they will give their judgment right then, right there, not a whole hour later. So it's all been really stupid. And as a person who was really excited for the King of the Ring and seeing how it all played out with this foolishness, especially on Raw's side, it kind of took me out. And I haven't actually watched the last week of it. So yeah, thanks for that, guys.
Are you surprised?
I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed. Are you surprised?
I'm not. I'm just disappointed because I was hoping, I was having my hopes up, but they took my poor little heart and they crushed it.
You basically took, yeah. That's, yep. All right.
Do you have a rant or a praise, T-Swizzle?
Hey, you also forget to mention that there was a new British heavyweight champion as well. Tanahashi. But they're gonna fight again at Destruction.
Oh, they are?
Along with the
God.
Well, we
God
could.
defending the champions against Ishii and Yoshihashi.
Well, hey, instead of T-Swizzle having a rant or praise per se,
I mean,
what do you, so the world gets to know you a little bit better, what do you like about Nikki Cross? What have you told me about Nikki Cross? Brutal.
Yeah, she's a brutal person. The women's matches are, to me, a little bit more memorable than the guys' matches. The few that I've seen.
And you mainly do like
They're
Japan
more intense.
matches. I mean, it depends on how much you like someone being dropped on their head.
Why?
Yeah, but I mean, they're the ones that I remember more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a little bit more the women than the men. That's, I don't know why, but I guess because the men fight a lot more than the women. I don't really know, but, and you like AEW a lot better than WWE.
From what I've seen, they're both really good. I don't know which one I prefer yet.
Yeah, she just started getting into this world. Well, we're gonna give you a couple more weeks to get some more knowledge on it.
Oh yeah.
But let's move on to the next segment. It's a very fun segment. We just had a lot of negativity. Let's have some more positivity in our life. It's the big no, it's not. It's Book It Yourself. Where, well, we're going to take a topic or a subject and we're going to book it ourselves. And I want to do something very spectacular. I want to book, and I'm going to keep myself out of this one. Woo! Because we already know what I am going to book. But I want y'all to come up with a feud for the the women's tag team champions. After Clash of Champions, who's leaving with the belts, and who's the next feud, and how do they get to WrestleMania?
Raw?
That's what I want to know.
Raw or
Fire and Desire?
Mm-hmm.
A feud for Fire and Desire then?
Hey, if they lose at Clash of Champions, they lose at Clash of
wait,
Champions.
for
What y'all
what are you
choose?
talking about? Raw or SmackDown?
Neither. It's the women's. The women's tag team champions.
It's only
Which
one
is
title.
For the
women's tag team title.
it's only on
Nikki
Raw.
Cross and it's on both
Alexa
shows.
Bliss.
And Alexa Bliss versus Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Who wins at Clash of Champions?
Nikki Cross and
Alexa Bliss.
and I think
No, we go with Issa's major prediction here. Double turn and Sonya Deville and Nikki Cross join in a tag team together and take the tag team champions themselves.
that'd be something
You
Lisa
say
would say.
Sonya Deville and Nikki Cross.
Yes. They
That'd be-
turn on the other partner and go on
That's
feud the tag
great.
team together. That's exactly where he would have gone with it.
That's funny.
So you can't deny it.
And I'm not saying anything. So, is that what y'all are gonna choose, or
Yeah,
who wins?
I think Nikki Cross and they'll keep him till WrestleMania. can't.
Yeah, well, who's gonna be their feud before?
I can't really
WrestleMania?
say because for the women's side, I can't.
Don't give a crud. Don't give a crud about what you think WWE is.
No, I'm not.
You pick.
I just
You
can't.
pick.
I can't think of
Just pick
anybody
two
that
women.
would be good enough for me to watch. I mean, who do I think? I don't know because I don't know the women off the top of my head. They might put Natalia with somebody and try that. Maybe I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, everybody else is in a feud, basically.
Do you have a thought
I don't
as
know.
to who would go for those tag titles?
Maybe story finish. Keep going with Fire and Desire.
Okay. No, we'll keep Fire and Desire. They end up getting. How about they get themselves disqualified? So like, or they're about to win, but then something happens, so they get counted out or something, and they're like, "Hey, we didn't get pinned. We want another opportunity." So they're going into Survivor Series, not for the title, but for a multi-women match. Who wins that side?
At that point, it'd be
Faces
Fire
or
and
heels?
Desire.
Heels.
Sure, I don't know.
Okay.
But then you start to see another team get injected in there, and that's the Kabuki Warriors.
Okay.
And then they try to go and have feuds with Fire and Desire as Alexa Bliss basically encourages them to fight between each other so that distract them so that their tag team doesn't have to fight. But then another tag team enters the fray, and that's the Iconics.
Okay.
So by the time so Iconics go in there, they're about to win at let's say Rumble, but then it gets some interference from Fire and Desire, but before Nikki and Alexa could win, you get more interference from the Kabuki Warriors, and it just turns into a brawl. No one wins, and then it sets up for WrestleMania, the first ever, not only for women's, but first ever overall, four-way tag team TLC match at WrestleMania with all the women involved. Yeah.
That wouldn't be fun, but yeah.
And who wins at WrestleMania?
The Fire and Desire one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I'll throw you a bone.
Thank you.
Yes.
And yeah, so I like it.
So they get it first. It's a TLC match.
They do. Okay, I like it.
First
I
ever
like
four
it.
tag team TLC match. First ever women's tag team TLC match.
I dig it.
Yes.
Everyone
Where
else
they-
cool with that?
Where they can also
Yeah,
go
that's
and
fine.
recreate spots from
We'll
the
go with
past. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have
Like
anything
for
else to say.
instance, Asuka hanging on the titles, but gets speared off it by Nikki Cross jumping from the ladder into flaming tables. Because
Okay, we don't want to kill these women.
at this point they're really desperate.
Okay.
What, WWE?
Yeah, they're desperate.
Oh,
for
yeah.
money, so they're really going off for you.
That's funny. But yeah, sounds like it'd be a very interesting storyline. Alright.
At one point, it'll be like special edition to here. Alexa Bliss will be out in the back for a while, and it's like, where it is, and you hear like some construction noise, and she's driving in the crane lift. Like someone else is driving the crane lift. That's Otis Stozovich driving the crane lift because it's heavy machinery.
Mm-hmm.
They've been manipulated by Alexa Bliss,
Mm-hmm.
and she's on top of the crane lift, and is being reached over so she can grab the titles. And the other people have to fight Otis out of there and drive it around.
And then because she sees that she's about to no longer be close to the title, she just does a massive twisted bliss through a table onto someone.
That's all the women at the bottom there. It's massive twist bliss, yes. See, they're really desperate for it.
Yeah, they're really desperate.
They go all out.
Alright, it's time to move on to the next segment. It's the penultimate segment. It's What Do You Think? It's where we...
Oh, then you know how they had that one match where Like they put someone on the pyro and then they let it off
Mhm.
and hit them there. They do that, but it's for the VR stuff. So they put them on the VR and then they activate the VR and then blow them away.
In virtual reality.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Really desperate.
Very desperate. So it's time for what do you think? What do you think? It's where we take questions, come from our own brain, and we ask our fellow compadres what they think of them. So I have a question for you guys. What do you think about the USA deal on for NXT? What do you think? How do you think it's going to go down? What do you think?
Could possibly be a good deal for NXT to get more exposure for younger talents. As long as the storylines are handled well still.
I think it'll be just you compete with AEW. Not gonna be a pretty sight. I'm not backing up that stance that WWE is gonna go up. I mean, they're not gonna go up. They're gonna go down. AEW. I think about this time next year they're gonna be the talk of the town. I mean, yeah, will they have a letdown? Yes, every company can't keep perfect. I mean, but AEW is just so good right now that they're gonna be the talk of the town. So, yeah.
Do you have any comments? All right, your question, Liam or DJ.
My question: when are they gonna put the Amazing Red versus Will Ospreay match on New Japan Worlds? Because I kind of want to see it.
I don't know. I haven't heard great things about it though. I think it was the longest match on that first round.
Yes, it is the longest match in the first round. Definitely saw that. My question is, who do y'all think is going to be the first AEW Women's Champion?
Nyla Rose.
Yeah, I'll agree with them on Nyla Rose.
I think they're building up Riho as a red herring, and even though they're
building her
really
up as a Japanese woman, not a red herring.
wow, and I think it's gonna be it's basically a bait and switch, and they are gonna give the first women's championship to Nyla Rose. They want to change the world of wrestling. What bigger change than to give the women's championship to a transgender woman? So I feel like that's what they're going for.
To be fair, it's not like they actually go and present her out as that way.
No, they
That's
don't.
just really a fact. They don't really throw it in people's faces as in like a major accomplishment.
Who's transgender?
No,
Nyla Rose.
I don't think they're gonna be like WWE. Who's like, oh, the first this. Oh, I don't think they're gonna do that at all.
Who? Guy or woman, right? Transgender. Okay, yeah.
They might mention it after it happened. Nyla Rose might mention how this is a big step forward in for PR and stuff. But the best way to make something big is to keep it in the subconscious, not be so brash about it. The whole year last year where it's just the first this for women, the first that for women, the first this for women, and they kept knocking it over your head, and you're like, yeah, we know, you're just trying to save your butts because of how horrible you've treated women.
And I don't
see AEW gonna do that. I think they're gonna give it to Nyla Rose, not make a big deal about her being transgender because they haven't done that at all. I'm pretty sure they haven't even mentioned it on commentary all that much.
No. Well,
maybe
we don't know.
once in the very beginning, and that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be something that happens to where people are like, wow, you know?
I think this actually hurts the women's division for AEW if she wins, just because it's not an actual woman winning the women's title.
It's okay. Come here, buddy. Come here.
What?
I know you need... Okay.
That made absolute no sense.
Yeah, it did. It's not a woman.
She identifies as a woman,
But
so
she's a guy.
she's recognized as a woman. It doesn't
But
matter.
just say-
It doesn't matter what she was born as. If she fights in the women's division, she's gonna win as
But
a
it's
woman.
like Dana White said. I'm not quoting him, but I'm going to paraphrase. Dana White, there is a UFC, transgender woman trying to fight on the woman's side. He's strongly against it, and I agree with him. Especially for UFC. UFC's different because...
It's also not wrestling where things are predetermined.
But wait. No, I understand that, but UFC's a little different. It is. Because UFC is guys have bigger hands, guys have everything bigger than women. And that's what he said. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I do a little bit.
Everybody's bigger than Riho, though.
Yeah, we know that. But
He's only 98
what I'm
pounds.
saying is, it would have been nice. I know she identifies as a woman now, but it would have been. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird. I could go both ways. I mean, it's weird though. I don't.
How is it weird?
Because it's a guy and it's a woman in a guy's body.
But she's not a guy.
Yeah, she is. She's got the hands of a guy. She's got the legs. She's got. But she's.
You don't know what she thinks.
What did you do?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know that. But guys, I would have loved to see.
Let's not be political, you guys.
No, I'm not. But I would have loved to. Let me just end it by saying I would have loved to see a woman who was born as a woman earn it. Not
she is a woman.
Who was born as a woman. Not a guy who turned into a woman. Sorry. I'm not going to agree to that. Now,
that's fine. You got your opinion. I have mine. I agree with Issa and Liam.
So let's just let whatever bathroom you want to use. Let's just not call them girls and guys bathrooms anymore. We'll just call them
unisex.
Unisex bathrooms. Yeah.
That's already a thing. That's like the thing all
But I agree with
That's actually
Issa
not a
and
TJ.
Liam.
I'll be the odd person out here. I don't.
She is gonna win, regardless of what her gender was. Her gender is now a woman, where she can fight in the woman's division.
Okay, I don't agree with it.
You don't have to agree with
I'm
it.
sorry.
You don't have to agree with it. That's your opinion.
Yeah, and that is my opinion. I don't want the first women's champion to be half and half, in my opinion.
So,
Because you
DJ,
should go
what
with
is
the
your
gender you were
question?
born with. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
What is your question, DJ?
He brought it up, so. But I just don't agree with it. So. I guess. We already talked about transgender women. I can't put that question out there because I was going to.
What question?
I was gonna ask y'all what y'all thought about transgender women fighting in wrestling, but we already in the women's division, but we already got that done. Do y'all in the last couple of years we have seen women get treated more like men in WWE? Do you think that the women will ever fully get treated like the men in WWE?
No, just because they're women. They have different needs than guys do.
No, I'm not saying it that way, but I'm just saying in matches, will they be able to fight every match like a man does? Probably not. I say probably not, that's just me, but I just want to see what y'all think about that. We have seen it evolve, like that evolution, over the years. You weren't here for that, but Issa and Liam have seen that, so.
I mean, as fully treated like the men as just in
Pay and everything. Equal.
I mean, you're not gonna have equal pay.
And will we ever see intergender matches?
You're not gonna see intergender matches.
No one in WWE like them.
Women are in certain things.
That's why I'm saying we're staying with the transgender part, but we'll get off of that. Right, I agree with you on that.
Well, I mean, I guess you say not seeing intergender matches again. We've seen them before.
With Triple H. Yeah.
Well, I was more talking about China.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, but
Right.
unless you get another bigger woman like that to fight smaller men. I don't think do it just because it's not as kosher.
Okay.
Especially
There's a lot of social, biological issues with that.
You think there'd be a lot of backlash?
Yeah, because people just see violence against women as harsher than violence against men. It's a weird scenario, but
And a lot of people still see wrestling as violence versus theatrical competition, which is what it is. So it
Yes and no.
The women, everything's predetermined, just like a martial arts movie. You're not watching a martial arts movie thinking, "Oh, drat, I don't know who's going to win this." 9 times out of 10, you know your hero is going to win, especially towards the end of the movie, with rare exceptions. But even then, everything's predetermined. It's all written out. It's not going to be a legitimate fight on camera. Just like in the WWE, everything is already predetermined. It's not a legitimate fight in the ring. And because of that, people are not... this is not UFC. This is not MMA. This is not boxing, where a man going up against a woman could really do some damage. This is not what that is at all. This is a story with specific athletic movements disguised as a proper competition. Yep. And because of that, do I think to answer your question, do I think WWE? Yes, when Vince McMahon is out and Triple H is on. He loves women's wrestling. He is the reason we have Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair,
Iconics.
Iconics. I'm trying to Bailey.
Ruby.
What's all the Japanese Joshi wrestlers? Every single women's wrestler that is like Toni Storm, Kaylee Ray, all of these amazing women.
Basically every woman in WWE now.
Exactly.
Outside of, say, Mickey James and Alicia Fox, I don't think there's any. And Maria, I don't think there's anyone from before NXT in there.
I believe you're
Natalia.
Right.
And
I'm
Beth
pretty
Phoenix
sure. I'm pretty sure though Natalia was thanks to Triple H. We don't know, but I just have this. I have a feeling.
I mean, just say like nearly every woman after that has come through NXT through Triple H.
Yeah, exactly. And once he's in the forefront, we can see a lot more women headlining things. We will see a lot more women's matches getting 20 plus minutes. But as long as Vince McMahon is in charge, it's not going to happen as much. It's going to be what it is now. It's not going to be as bad as it was, and it's just going to stay where it is until the switch happens. That's how I see it.
And to 2 other points. One for the pay part. Since it's always determined on position, you're never actually going to get equal pay. I mean, there's women like Becky or Charlotte who I'm sure are making a lot, especially Charlotte, who's making a lot more money than a lot of the men
not equal,
in the main roster.
You know what I mean, though, right? Not equal pay, but like a women's champion versus a guy champion.
I mean, even when it comes to champion versus champion, matters about the sale, the
marketability.
The marketability for one is better. And then I was just thinking from another aspect of the bigger thing that you would want to see from equality is longevity. If you notice, when we talk about, like I just said, all the women, nearly every woman on the roster right now came from NXT. You can't say that about the men's, because the men's can last longer, and the women seem to kind of get pushed out when they're past their prime, compared to, say, Japan or Mexico, where you have older women still wrestling just like older men still wrestle, because it's not necessarily just about looks there.
Exactly.
When it came to like Joshi wrestling, apparently it originally started very similar to American women's wrestling, where it was introducing a lot of models and into it. So it was mostly models, but then it had a turn towards more athleticism and skill compared to just looks, and allowed women to be there who are older but can still wrestle, instead of women who are, in America where it doesn't seem like women have, it seems like women have a much shorter career span than the men do, because once they're, I guess, looks on prime for what the WWE looks for in most marketability range, and I would also argue that is kind of a overall media problem. Then it's, they're tossed aside because they're looked more for their marketability for looks more than their marketability for skill or entertainment value.
Right.
So with that, I feel Alexa Bliss will probably go about, because if you see her mother, like, her mother just looks like a friend.
Not only that, but also Becky
because they look
Lynch.
so.
Because apparently Big E is still trying to get with Becky Lynch's mama, which is really funny.
She's quite attractive. Yeah, she's an ex-model.
Oh, okay.
There's actually it was someone from the UK, but they were like telling a story about how when they were younger they had the crush on this girl, on the woman that was on the soda can, and it actually turned out that woman was Becky Lynch's mom. Like Becky Lynch's mom was their childhood crush.
Oh,
That's
wow.
funny.
Yeah.
And you say so?
Yeah, you have a question for us to answer.
No questions.
No
Not
question?
right at the moment.
You don't want to know anything? Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's move it on to our final question, or not our final segment. I apologize. And it is the mailbag. It's where we take questions outside of our own brains from the world of wrestling, and we answer it for you guys. And one, I brought it up a couple of weeks back with you. I want to hear what these guys have to say about it. I think it is a pipe dream. I think it is something that storylines are not dictating at all for WrestleMania. It's the 4 horsewomen in a fatal 4-way for a championship. Do you think that's happening for WrestleMania this year?
Maybe.
Yeah, just a reminder, they'll be really desperate.
If they do it, they'll do it wrong. It won't be a great match.
4 horsewomen Inferno.
Well, who are the 4 horsewomen?
I mean, you think the Straight Fire is going to win that one.
Who's the 4 horsewomen?
Oh, she becomes Straight Fire.
Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley?
Yes.
For the women's title, I can see that.
Ow.
I mean, the way the storylines are going now with Bayley turning on Sasha, was it? Or what was it? Becky turned on Sasha?
Bayley turned on Becky.
Bayley turned on Becky. Okay, so yeah.
And that's enough.
Where she was like, finally, I feel what everyone else felt. It feels so good. No wonder they always betrayed me.
Yep.
I thought that too.
Yes.
Maybe they're going in that direction.
She was like, this
I don't
was
know.
for NXT. But I joined with Sasha Banks.
What was your...
This is confusing.
Do you think it's happening? What was your...
I was saying that's not set up for it. It could happen though, but it's not
It could
set up for
if
it.
WWE's really desperate. I mean, WWE's going to be really desperate when it comes to WrestleMania, just because AEW is going to be doing so well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to be looking for so many answers. I really can't predict what's going to happen. They're going to be in such downfall that I think anything they do is not going to work. It's not going to matter by that point, in my opinion. And I see that it could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen because...
Why don't you think it's going to happen?
Because I've seen them turn off of storylines before. I've seen them start a great storyline. Fans like it. Vince McMahon's like, no, take it out. Everything that... what's his face? Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman have tried to do on Monday and Tuesdays has been scratched the day of and during the show. So minute by minute, we rewriting storylines during a 3-hour show. So I don't know.
Scenario: they get so desperate they hire Russo. Becomes a
I see.
full Women of the Apocalypse
Oh,
match, where you have 4 poles around the ring. Each one holds a thing that's suited to the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So some for death, petulance, war, and famine. As weapons, you have to climb it up and use the weapons, and then once all the weapons have been used, that's when you can win by pinfall.
Let's keep Vince Russo out of
All right,
wrestling
what's the
in
next
2019.
Do you have another question?
Yes.
Yeah, how did you want to go?
You go first.
I'll go, yeah. So here's one I was thinking of. How about some Mount Rushmores? How about we have Mount Rushmore for wrestling past, present, and present?
Present and present?
One for the past, one for the present.
Okay.
All together?
So,
Yeah, we can do it separate.
obviously,
Your own personal.
mine for the past is,
I think we've already done this.
yeah, he may be a racist. He may have always been a racist. But his contributions to wrestling,
Which wrestler is it going to be?
you already know, is just way too much not to have him up there. It's Hulk Hogan. Not only that, Bruno Sammartino, if not for him holding the belt for so long and being a figurehead for a company in a time where wrestling wasn't that popular just yet, he definitely helped grow.
That's, I would argue, not popular on the national level for one brand, but popular individually, region-wise. I mean, if you actually look, like for instance, old NWA, Ric Flair was able to sell out places like the Superdome back before WWF really kicked off. So it was always that popular. It just wasn't a singular national brand.
Exactly, but he was definitely Vince McMahon Jr.'s, or Vince McMahon as we know him today. He was his face. He put that belt on him and he let him do his thing in order to start getting that national, those national eyes on his one brand. And if not for that forward thinking, we probably wouldn't have Hulk Hogan the way we do. Also, Nature Boy Ric Flair. He is a spearhead that.
Oh, we forgot to cover the fact that he's suing WWE.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that story.
Yeah, Ric
we'll
Flair.
get to that. We'll get to that. Ric Flair, like you were saying, he was able to sell the Superdome before WWF was even a thing. And the last one for me would have to be in the past, someone I didn't know about, but I do know more about him now, is Harley Race. He had his troubles, he had his demons, but he also had great wherewithal to keep the wrestling business in his forefront of his life. So those are my 4 for the past. For the present, right now as it stands, it's Shane. Why did I say Shane? It's Seth Rollins. He's been, even though they've wanted it to be Roman, he has been the face of the company for so long now. And for wrestling, you show Seth Rollins, everyone knows Seth Rollins. Then it's definitely going to be Randy Orton and John Cena. Both of those guys. And Triple H. Without those, HBK and Edge should have honorable mentions, but even those guys did not do what these 4 have done.
I mean, realistically, I've put that in the past.
No, I'm talking about right now in the future. Oh yeah, they would be in that middle section. For me,
Anyone who's retired is past them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 4 right now, in the present, and John Cena looks like he's about as on his way out.
He's
as
out already.
well as Triple H.
He's out already.
Not technically.
Yeah, he said he's retired.
Well, I did not see that article, so we'd have to look that up. Because
Okay.
we do not want to say he said something.
Let's go.
Let's talk
your
about
Mount Rushmore. That was your Mount Rushmore.
Yes, that was my Mount. Do you have your Mount Rushmore, sir?
You want to do a Mount Rushmore?
Are you doing one?
Sure, I can.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So we're gonna go with Mount Rushmore. We go Ric Flair for the old
Oh,
side, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We go for put up in there Stone Cold and The Rock. Definitely big part there. We
Definitely
also
shaped
go,
the 90s for us.
Yes. We also go for can't remember his name now.
What does he look like?
Shit. He went on to do commentary for WWF during the 80s.
Jesse Ventura.
No, it was before him.
Before him?
Also blonde, the muscle-bound guy.
Oh, yeah. The one, that Nature Boy. He was the first Nature Boy, right?
No.
Oh.
Can't even. Some reason I'm just completely blanking out on it.
Okay, Google. WWF commentary team in the 80s. Let's see. Vince McMahon, Randy Savage, Bob Bartlett, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan, Rob Bartlett, Bobby, Jim Cornette, Gorilla Monsoon, Jim Ross, Sean, Jerry Lawler, Ted DiBiase, Doc Hendricks, Mr. Perfect, Kevin Kelly.
Oh, we're gonna have to go much further back. It's all 90s stuff.
That's all recent now.
Oh, was that further back?
Mm-hmm.
It's not listed then.
Oh wait, that started at 93. Huh. Weird.
Yeah. Let me see.
I don't. I'm unaware. I can't say.
His name's completely blanked here. But I mean, I wanted to mention him in there because he was such a big deal for creating the 80s style.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was basically Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan. Oh, wait. Superstar Billy Graham, here it is.
Billy Graham. Okay.
Yeah, so he did some commentary stuff. Not a regular commentary, but
Yeah.
But he was the 80s look before the 80s happened. He was inspiration for Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Jesse Ventura, all those guys. He was the first one to go with bleach blonde hair, super tan muscles, and going around calling people brother and stuff.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, if you didn't have him, you wouldn't have had Hogan, Macho Man. You wouldn't have had the 80s WWF. You wouldn't have had WWF overall, I would say. Because he created
Fair
that
point.
style, basically. So that's why I would put him in there for the Mount Rushmore. That's
What about your present?
present. We will go right now. And I'll say I only stick with America because I only know American history wrestling. So right now I would go with Okada in there. I'm also going to put in I would put in Cody Rhodes. For obvious reasons of helping start this whole thing, and I don't feel like I can put the Young Bucks in together, and don't want to put them in separately, really. So I'll just go with Cody Rhodes to represent that whole concept. I will also put in there I would put in there such a difficult one. Let's put Pentagon Jr. in there. You know how much I like Pentagon Jr.
Mm-hmm. That's your boy.
Yes, it's my boy, and then finally to round it out, I will go and put in Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
Yes.
I was
To have a
thinking.
nice-
I was surprised about the omission of both Tomohiro Ishii and Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
Freshly squeezed,
It's freshly squeezed. It will be his time.
but it's just not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll put guys. I wanted to put guys in here, 3 of which are top of their major brand of New
True.
Japan, NXT, and AEW. The three top promotions I feel right now in popularity and in production value, and then Pentagon Jr. because it's Pentagon Jr. I feel that it's a fair assessment to put.
I
in there.
mean, he right now he
And I would
is
also
the top.
say that Pentagon Jr. has helped open up Lucha Libre again
Oh,
into
100%.
the American scene. He was a real big presenter for Lucha Underground and for more luchadors being more mainstream in American wrestling. Him and his brother.
Yeah, 100%. Like him and I didn't even know they were
He's
related.
helped, he's helped that revival out there. That was
Are
kind
you
of
doing
started
yours,
by
sir?
Rey Mysterio. You want to skip his? Okay, we can skip it.
Okay, so let's talk about the news
Ric
segment that
Flair's-
happened with
yeah,
Flair.
Ric Flair, desperate for money, sues the WWE for use of the term "the man."
Yeah.
He attempted to copyright it. I believe that was thrown out.
Mm-hmm. I think this is ridiculous.
Yes, I think he's just really desperate. It's a little sad, really.
Mm-hmm. And did he not make a lot of money on his like couple appearances?
He blew it all.
Uh,
I was reminded.
he blew it all.
I was. Oh, he was something that he uses drugs.
No, I'm saying he chops up the money and he snorts the dollar bills. He doesn't do drugs anymore.
No, he just blows it.
Exactly.
He just loses the money.
Exactly.
This was brought up when Chris Jericho lost his. They brought up a story that they heard where Ric Flair was in a restaurant, apparently Italian restaurant, where he was so drunk at the end of it all, he was like, he took off his watch, he threw it down onto the plate of spaghetti that he was finished eating, and was yelling, "I have 10 of these," and then walked off because he paid his bill with the Rolex watch. So that's what I mean by blow his money. He was,
Wow.
and he was also he was known for going out to clubs and buying everyone rounds of drinks on him in the club itself, the entirety.
The entire club.
Yeah, the entire
What the
bar.
heck? That
He
is
would buy
mental.
rounds of drinks. Yeah, so that's why he used really bad his money. Plus all
Yeah.
his divorces.
Oh yeah,
Do
that
not
too.
have- So we can just hope that it doesn't have negative effects. It shouldn't. But we can just hope they don't have negative effects on Charlotte Flair. That shouldn't though, but
Yeah, I think she's well adjusted to her situation.
man, what if there's a Becky Lynch countersuit for sexual harassment?
Oh my goodness. Anyways, so the last question I wanted to talk about was about what was it about? Dang it! Do you have a quick question? That it's because I had something.
Who would be the most talked about wrestler for the next 5 years? Who's not as of right now? That
The future star.
yes, the next
Um,
up and coming.
does that mean Velveteen Dream's out? Or does he? Because I know guys like us talk about Velveteen Dream, but
He does not count, so he can be used.
okay, yeah, I think he's definitely one up there. On the women's side, she has come a long way. Shayna Baszler. I think she's going to be a really big deal when she gets to the mainstream audience. Velveteen, Shayna, Io. I think she has a better chance of becoming more popular than Asuka was, which is crazy. But also, and this is a big one for the men, I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, both as singles and tag team, I think they're going to be really, really huge. Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
Do you think if AEW gets toys, like action figures,
Mm-hmm.
ever do like a backstage segment where like Jurassic Express is like, we got to combine our forces together, and then like they start playing like the Power Rangers song, and then they like use the action figures to put them together like a Megazord, like back the whole Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but it was like clearly just action figures that they were putting together to make the Megazord appear.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yes. For me, Orange Cassidy definitely won.
Oh yeah.
Future AEW champion, Orange Cassidy. For women, I agree with you with Shayna Baszler
Mm-hmm.
as top one. I think as they're gonna see more women's from Japan coming through and getting big in America. And I also kind of hope that there's more women coming from Mexico. That's going to be seen as the next big thing. But it's difficult to know, especially seeing that Triple A's top women's title is to an American wrestler in Tessa Blanchard. And I think her biggest...
Oh, if she goes to like a major promotion, way bigger than Impact, I think she's going to be a huge star.
Yeah, but I was already kind of seeing her as... talked about enough right now that I wouldn't put her in that category.
Yeah.
And I was also saying like she's the champion, and then her biggest challenger is Taya Valkyrie. So it's
Taya Valkyrie just passed the longest reign for a Knockouts champion. So she's been champion for a long time.
I'm not laughing at the idea of Taya Valkyrie though. I'm laughing at the idea that like I'm saying like women coming from Mexico, but it seems like Mexico's top women in AAA at least is American women. So, but I would like to see some female luchadors come in along with American Joshi, although Joshi wrestlers coming to America to get big.
And then of course we're not even mentioning like the European scene either, because there's a lot of people who's going to be big over there too.
As long as it survives. I mean, you had like what?
Three more promotions, yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy. It's a scary time for indie wrestling.
Damn you, Brexit. I think that's the nickname they gave NXT UK over there is Brexit. Apparently from the way they talk about it.
Oh, that's messed up funny. But yeah, so I cannot think of the question I wanted to ask. Or the question that not that I wanted to ask. There was a question that was around.
How about this?
But I'm not going to be able to get to it.
How about this top match that you heard about that you want to watch yet, that you haven't watched yet, but one that you heard about?
A-Kid versus, I'm pretty sure it's Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, you still haven't seen that?
Or is it Will Ospreay?
It was Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, A-Kid versus Zack Sabre Jr. Still haven't gotten around to watch it. And I have no one to blame but me. I just haven't. I either keep forgetting or I'm just not into it. But I will watch it. I will watch it. What about you?
For stuff that could be seen now, I mean, want to check out this Elgin versus Sekimoto.
Okay.
From BJW, I think that is Big Japan Wrestling. From Corkin Hall. Yeah. As this person saying, I think it's a match of the year contender.
I also do want to go back and see a lot of Stardom stuff, because I've never actually gotten to really see what they can do, so I want to see that. I keep seeing little snippets here and there, but I want to see more. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, any more questions?
The one I had, it was a really good one, but I've forgotten it. And you know what? That's okay. I'll try to. It'll come back to me. I'll write it down. And we can ask it next week. So that's the show,
That's
everybody.
what we call a teaser.
Yes, that is exactly what we call a teaser.
Yes.
We like to tease you out really well.
This is weird.
It is very weird, and you still did it. You did it twice. Oh, the double tease. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Somehow along the way we lost a couple people, but that's okay. Thanks again so much for watching. Please comment down below everything you think about what we talked about. Let us know your thoughts. We will read, we will respond. After you do that, please give us those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
After you do that, you might as well share this video and all of our videos to your friends.
And enemies.
You've done so much for us already. Might as well take that extra step and hit the subscribe button so that way you are a part of the Smarky family. Once you do that, go and ring the notification bell because...
So you know when we go live on Sundays from 1 to or 3 o'clock, whatever, 1 to 2, and then when we go live for all AEW pay-per-views and non-WWE pay-per-views on Sundays, Central Time.
And sometimes Saturdays.
Okay, close enough.
Yes, whatever we do, you want to be notified, so ring that bell. And yeah, that was DJ. And you can follow him on Twitter at DJC_SEL. And then follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP.
Then follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
Yeah, we all have weird _S and 2 other letters in our names. It's a little bit complicated. I will be putting that in the descriptions feeds. I will have all of that in the description feeds for you to find.
To find those Twitter handles, a lot easier.
Yes, I still haven't.
Especially
done
for
the
those
editing
times
part.
where we get them wrong.
Yes.
When
You said mine were yours. That was so funny.
I was just trying to help you get more Twitter followers.
Hey, thank
Trick
you.
them to get support.
Trick 'em that goes to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, the last thing. Next week, we will have a big day. We will have episode 48 of Shooting with the Smarky Family. We will then proceed to do our probably 12-match prediction show live for you guys. And then we will be live. We'll have our live reaction stream for, it's called, give me a second, Clash of Champions 2019. It's going to be a big day next week. It's going to be fun. Hopefully everything is smooth as butter. Anything else you think of right now?
No.
Alright, well then that's it, everybody. So, until next time, it will be awesome. See you later, everybody.
Bye.